Good morning, everybody. I know we're a couple of minutes past. I know we'll have some people trickling in. We're not quite at full. I think we have the full committee here just yet, but it appears we have a quorum. So we'll go ahead and call the Ways and Means Committee meeting to order. And Chair Lady Camp is going to open us up in a word of prayer, if you would, please, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Please bow with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we are thankful to be here this morning doing the people's business. Please bless us to be prudent and to use wise judgment in all we do. We are thankful for the many blessings we've been given and the opportunity to represent the good people of Georgia. And please bless all of us all day long with safety and health. And we ask for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you very much. And the chair's going to take a brief moment of personal privilege. We have a blessing this morning to have in attendance, I think, one of the finest county commission chairs in all the state and one of the finest run counties in the state, Chairman Dan Perdue, a very dear friend from Houston County. If you wouldn't mind just standing up and letting us see you for just a minute. And his lovely wife, Jessica, and their wonderful daughter, Eleanor, is that right, with him today? And she's paging in the Senate. No, we've already had that conversation. So anyway, we'll welcome her back next time on the right side of the building. That's if let's see, we may skip around a little bit today, but Chairman Stevens, are you ready with HB 519? All right, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the Work Opportunity Tax Credit to give folks the opportunity to get that American dream, also help them to get a home. That's another bill, not this one, but need to get these folks that are basically unemployable, these folks that have our veterans that might have had some issues, even felons, to give the employer a $500 tax credit up to a $10 million cap to hire these unemployable people, basically get them off welfare and give them the beauty and the satisfaction of a job.
I don't see any questions. Okay, Chairman Parsons.
I do have a question about it. I mean, I think it's a good, good bill. I mean, good thing that you're doing here. But as far as did you say felons?
There's a list of 10 folks that are everybody from disabled veterans to, ex-felons have a problem with finding a job, as you might imagine.
Yes, they do.
This gives an employer an incentive to hire those and take a chance.
Now, but but only if they're a veteran?
No. There's a list of folks that are on TANF, that are already on government assistance out of your wallet and mine,
okay,
that need to have the opportunity to get into the workforce. So this gives the incentive to the employer, not the employee.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's a good thing and a good bill. The only thing that is an issue, and the whole thing about people not being able to get a job because of a criminal background check.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not sure about the list that you have, but I mean, it needs to be looked at the whole thing of these people who come back with a criminal background check and they can't get a job, and they're never going to be able to do better. And I won't say that never an incentive for them to do anything bad, but I mean, it makes it, there's not much of an incentive to do good if they can't even get a job. But I mean, it's a good bill, but it is an issue that I'm familiar with some people I've helped, and thank you.
Yes, sir.
I don't see any other questions. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. All right, bill passes. Thank you. Move on to rules. Going to move down to HB 964, Representative Cannon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just for the benefit of the committee, the bill basically treats what our independent contractor fire service, typically called volunteer fire departments, treats them the same as organic fire departments to local governments by removing the ad valorem tax on vehicles and sales tax on equipment, because both organizations are involved in public safety, have the same mission, but one is taxed and one is not. But this treats them both the same. That's it, Mr. Chairman. And for any questions?
I don't see any questions. It's a pleasure of the committee. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Bill moves on to rolls.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Congratulations. All right, let's see. I'm going to move down to HB 1070. Is that Chair Lady Hagan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
1070, this is the Georgia Short Line Railroad Track Maintenance Tax Credit. It was established in 2018 by the Rural Development Council. It hasn't been updated since then, so this bill would increase the credit cap per track mile that is maintained from $3,500 to $5,000 per mile, and it extends the sunset 5 more years. That is it.
Any questions for the author? Seeing none, what's the will of the committee? I heard a motion. Second. And there's a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. All right, thank you, Madam
Thank you.
Chair. Let's see here. HB 1077 is Chairman Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is extending the sunset tax exemption for tickets and related fees for fine arts performance or exhibitions. It extends it to December 31st of 2032. Sales tax exemption, keep ticket prices low, make arts more affordable, and this is only for the 501c3s.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. All right, bill passes. Thank you, Chairman Williams. Let's see, I think Chairman Carson was stuck in traffic. We'll see if we can push his leader of registration. Are you ready with HR 1000, sir? Yes, Mr. Chairman. What number are you? I'm sorry. 8. Okay. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Building on the good work that Chairman Noel Williams started a few years ago, I bring House Resolution 1000. It's a constitutional amendment to eliminate timber tax in circumstances of conservation use. So this would be CUVA, FLIPA, or the other preferential covenant. The bill has no opposition that I'm aware of. It's very critical that we do in light of the closure of paper mills and sawmills across the state, as well as timber farmers still reeling from the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. The fiscal note estimates the impact is between 10 million and 12.7 million, and I'm not aware of any opposition to the bill. Would ask for the committee's favorable consideration.
See any question? Okay, several motions and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. All right, bill passes, or resolution passes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Leader. Leader Wade, ready for 1001?
Yes, sir. May I have Calvin of the Governor's Office?
Yes, of course.
Chairman, good morning. Committee members, thank you. Bring to you guys House Bill 1001. This is LC 590226EC. This is a continuation of what has passed the largest tax cut in Georgia's history. We are asking to now increase or lower the rate 3 years ahead of time down to 4.99%, which originally was supposed to be by 2029, and this would bring this down in 2026. I believe we did have a good conversation about the details. I'm happy to go over the bill with line items if we need. It's pretty self-explanatory, but at the chairman's pleasure, I'm happy to answer any questions, unless you want me to go through the line, very, very minor changes to the legislation. So happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for the author? 23.
Mr. Chairman, we have accelerated this above the original term by how much?
3 years.
3 years. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It's 18. Is it Representative Fry?
I'll wait.
Representative Fry waves. Chairman Prince?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As he mentioned, we've accelerated this. Have we met any triggers to help accelerate this that we had earlier, or they've been removed?
So I'll let Calvin kind of go through that, but ultimately, some triggers yes, some triggers no, but based on just the overall will of the body and the budgeting process that we've done in Georgia, it's still in a position where we can continue to do this, even though some triggers weren't made coming off of the highest inflation that we've seen in many years. But if you have a specific trigger you want to ask for, I'll let him respond.
Yeah, I'll just echo what Representative Wade said. We've met some of the triggers, haven't met all of them, but for example, if the revenue collection for the previous 3 fiscal years has to be higher than this year's, with the inflation that we've seen, that inflates the revenue collections, and so until we get back to a more flat period of inflation, it's difficult to meet that trigger. But with the conservative budgeting of the legislature and with the governor, we feel like it's still a good policy position to move forward with this.
All right. Vice Chairman Hall?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I know we accelerated last year as well, and without meeting the triggers. And were we able to meet all of our state expenses despite the fact that we didn't meet the triggers and still accelerated last year?
The gentlelady knows of what she speaks.
Thank you.
Chairman Williamson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And forwarded away, it is not true that in addition to the fact that through this General Assembly and the governor's leadership, we've returned almost $9.5 billion back to the taxpayer's pocket over the last several years. Is that not true?
That is true. I believe it's 9.7.
And yet, even with that, we still have massive excess reserves that adequately will be able to fund this tax-free fund. Is that not true?
That is true.
Thank you.
I believe the state economist has used the term structural surplus, and I think that's one of the things that we've, all right.
Budgeted wisely, sir.
I don't see any further questions. So will the committee. I have a motion to pass and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign. Aye. All right, we have two noes. All right. Three noes. All right, thank you. We'll record that. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Leader.
Appreciate it.
All right, I'm going to turn the meeting to Vice Chairman Kelly. You're 21 here. I'll present 880. I think we have an amendment to be offered as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll recognize Chairman Shaw Blackman to present substitute to House Bill 880.
Turn my own mic on. Thank you. Thank you, Representative Kelly. I appreciate that. The only real substantive change, and just to go through the provisions of the bill, it does reinstate the triggers and takes the rate over time down to $399, raises the standard deduction up to $15,000 and the dependent deduction up to $5,000, all in increments of a tenth. And then, of course, we increase the senior exemption from $65,000 to $70,000 at the age of 65. And you'll see some changes requested by our friends in appropriations, the revenue shortfall reserve that moves to 20% of the previous fiscal year's net revenue, and that any amount of undesignated surplus may be used for taxpayer relief pursuant to acts of the General Assembly. So some technical changes and some requests that we accommodated there. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know you've worked hard on this to provide substantial income tax relief in a responsible manner to Georgia taxpayers. Do we have any questions for Chairman Blackman? All right. Doesn't look like you have any questions. Now's the bill's before the committee. What's the posture of the committee? We have a motion to pass.
We do have a question here, and
A late question.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Representative Fry is recognized for a question.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, while I appreciate us allowing the opportunity for Georgians to keep their tax dollars, I do appreciate that. I feel like this bill takes about $4 billion out of our revenue, where the majority of it is going to go to the top 70% earners. And that this type of legislation, without a couple of little tweaks, gives most of the tax refund back to the wealthiest in the state. And so that's why I'll be against this bill. Thank you, sir.
Was there a question in there, Representative?
Isn't it true?
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Representative, for the question. If I may, Mr. Chairman, I just recognize that every taxpayer in the state will receive a cut under this proposal, not only in the rate but in the standard deduction. And if they have any dependents, they would also receive an additional cut there. Additionally, we do some work for our seniors, and then we put some responsibility, I guess, back into the savings that we have, so that we can utilize those if for some reason that the economics are moved from one year to the next. But the triggers are in place to protect our budgeting and to protect our revenue.
Follow up if I may.
Question.
Thank you, sir. Would there be any Mr. Chair, would there be any appetite to go ahead and just raise the standard deduction to $50,000 straight off the bat and take care of those folks that aren't making a whole bunch of money by giving them the opportunity to replace the EITC with the $50,000 standard deduction?
This legislation does not address that, but I'm sure those are discussions that'll be ongoing. Thank you.
All right, any more questions before we move on to motions? All right, no further questions. What's the will of the committee? All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second? All right, do we have any discussion or amendments?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chairman Williamson.
Thank you, Chairman Kelly. I'd like to propose an amendment to House Bill 880, LC 590332S. I'd ask Legislative Council if they direct their attention to line 24. If you go to where it says until the rate reaches 3.99%, if you could make a reference after that comma, make a reference to line 76 through 100 of this same bill, which leaves the income tax reduction trigger still in place. The goal here, the overarching goal, is to make sure that House Bill 880 is going to continue without being any kind of conflict with the governor's bill, which we just passed, House Bill 1001. If Legislative Council, can you do that for us?
Paul, is that clear to you what we're wanting to do? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm on 13. Can you hear me? Okay. I do not have any questions. I'll just kind of restate it in terms of the way I understand it.
Please, my legal degree is lacking.
Yes, sir. So my understanding is that the intent is at the end, well, towards the end of line 24, after the word percent, to insert a reference to line 76 to 100, which will be Code Section 48-7-27, subsection A, paragraph 1.1. So that will be the actual reference that goes into code, with the intent being for the process of reduction of tax rates in 48-7-20 to follow the same process as is set forth in line 76 to 100 for increases in the standard deduction. Would that Does that sound appropriate?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, we have that in the posture of a motion as an amendment from Chairman Williamson. Is there a second to that amendment? There's a second. Any time for discussion on the proposed amendment? All right, we'll vote on the amendment. All those in favor of the amendment, make it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. All right, the amendment carries. Any further discussion or amendments? All right, hearing none, we'll now take up House Bill 880, LC 590332, committee substitute to House Bill 880 as amended. All those in favor, make it known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign.
Aye.
All right.
That means no, I'm sorry.
All right, all those that wish to vote aye, will you raise your hands in favor? All those opposed, make it be known by raising your right hand. All right, the motion carries. The bill is now passed. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Kelly. And I believe Chairman Carson, I know you had a little traffic problem this morning.
Rain is beautiful.
It was a little slow for me coming in too. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Well, 1199, Chairman Carson.
Yes, sir. This is our annual housekeeping measure in regard to the IRC, or Internal Revenue Code, conformity update. There were, as many of you on the committee know, there were a number of changes made from the One Big Beautiful Bill. I've put together, I know there's a 1199 fiscal note in the folder, as well as I put together a conformity summary. We're doing our best to be good stewards to the taxpayers of Georgia. In regard to what we can do in regard to the legislation, we simply can't afford as much of the revenue hit from all the measures that were adopted in the One Big Beautiful Bill to adopt those down into Georgia. But we are conforming to quite a few of them. There will still be, and procedurally and structurally, it has to be a different bill if we're going to remove the tax on tips or remove the tax on overtime, particularly with regard to the thresholds in the One Big Beautiful Bill. There are some other items that are just quite honestly very, very expensive from a revenue loss in regard to Section 168 from qualified business property, allowing for full expensing. There's other deductions for 179, which we're in partial conformity, but not full. And this is a measure that I appreciate the chairman's work and as well as Fiscal Research Center and especially Department of Revenue on this. I'd like to answer any questions.
Mr. Chairman, does the department have, would y'all like to address anything regarding the conformity bill? Okay. Let's see, Chairman Parsons and then Representative Fry.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to make sure I'm clear on this. Did you say that overtime is addressed in this? It's not.
It is not. Therefore, someone that earns overtime income in 2025 and 26 and 27 and 28 under the One Big Beautiful Bill, there is a threshold to which they don't pay tax on that, but we are still taxing that amount in Georgia.
Okay, I'm good with it. Thank you.
I think as a committee and as a Georgia House, we've really taken a stance more so on lowering taxes for everybody as opposed to taxing one income or not.
Representative Fry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just another friendly clarification that this bill removes, so basically the servers will have to pay taxes on their tips to the state. Is that correct?
The service will?
The servers.
The servers, yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir.
And we would love to give another tax cut to Georgians, but quite honestly, these two buckets, and there's actually a third one we're not complying with. It's a deduction for interest on car loans. Those are the three big items on the personal provisions. They're quite honestly a large revenue hit and would further impede us for providing tax cuts for all Georgians.
And I think, Chairman Carson, that the way that's been contemplated is that, something that we would entertain as a separate measure.
Yes, sir, that's correct. As you remember in the HR 1 that passed and was signed by the president in July, that provision, there's two provisions in there, one for no tax on tips, but it's only to a certain amount. I can't remember. It's not a huge amount, as well as an amount for overtime. I think it was $12,500 or $15,000 or what have you. That would need to be, to the chairman's point, that would need to be as part of separate legislation for Title 48. Because we're not dealing with just a section code, we're dealing with a threshold, a monetary dollar amount threshold. If we were to do something.
In a limited period of time. All right. Chairman Stevens?
Just to be clear, I want to make sure that I'm understanding. Instead of picking and choosing on who's might be getting the tax cut, we're lowering the rate for everyone across the board.
Chairman knows what he speaks.
Who is 14? Is it? Oh, okay. Chairman Carpenter.
Thank you, Chairman. Statement, not a question. Just as someone who employs a lot of people that work for tips, I can assure you that the people making tips are doing a whole lot better than the rest of the folks in the restaurant. So to give them a tax credit would actually be a disservice to the bus boys, food runners, dishwashers, etc.
I don't see any further questions. I do have Chairman Prince.
So this was, and this is to the author, and I'm sorry I got my back to you, but so we're not conforming totally with the, I guess, the big, beautiful bill, is that correct?
That is correct. We are not.
Thank you.
We are in partial conformity. That's correct. But on both business and personal provisions of the code.
In a relatively consistent manner that we are year after year. Fair to say, Mr. Chairman?
Well, if Chairman, we didn't do full conformity with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2018 either. So.
All right. Well, this would serve as the second hearing. Is there anybody here that wants to comment any further? What's the will of the committee? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by stating aye. Aye. Those opposed, like sign.
Aye.
All right.
How many we get?
All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Okay, those opposed, like? Raise your right hand. All right, thank you. Bill passes. Thank you, Chairman Carson. Anybody have anything further for the good of the order? No, thank you for being here this morning. We stand adjourned.